Hi, I'm Susie and welcome to my YouTube channel Standing Firm. Someone got in touch this week and asked me about the theme of jealousy, and it didn't take long for me to think of examples in my life where I've struggled in this, and so I thought it would be useful to share with everyone. Just a few thoughts on jealousy. So jealousy can creep into our lives in different areas. It's not just the kind of jealous of a partner in a relationship, but also jealousy amongst friends, amongst colleagues, amongst siblings. And of course the Bible, right at the beginning, we have a story of sibling rivalry where jealousy goes to its furthest extent and leads to death. And jealousy is listed as one of those emotions, the negative emotions, to fight. So thinking about the kind of jealousy in a romantic relationship, first of all, and what is it that's driving that jealousy? Now, it might be that there's genuine behaviour by your partner that's unacceptable, that is making you jealous. They might deliberately be doing something to evoke those feelings. Or it might be that actually there's an insecurity in you, that you're not feeling valued, you're not feeling honoured, you're not feeling wanted by the other person, and so their behaviour is making you feel jealous when actually there's no grounds for it. They actually love you. So at the root of that kind of jealousy is an insecurity. And so if we're thinking back to what's the negative, sinful part of that, it's that our value has been set in that person, and their love for us is the most important thing, and what they think of us is more important than what God thinks of us. And so that comes back down to idolatry, that you've put your partner before God. And so the solution to those kind of jealous feelings, if it's unfounded, is to look back at who God is and who He says you are, and to look to find your value in Him. And that way you won't be feeling that insecurity and that jealousy where it's not necessary. Now, the second thing is it might be rooted in self-love. So it might be that actually you want to almost own or possess all of that person, that you want all of their time and their attention, and you can't have that, and it's not right for you to have that. And actually the idolatry there is yourself, that you are jealous because you want to be the most important person, the first person who gets the text, the first person who gets the call, the one who's asked out first, the one who is always there for that person, and that you feel like you should be the most important person in their life, when actually, again, that they need to put God as the most important person in their life. So it might be a kind of jealousy and a kind of sense of wanting to own and possess someone. So again, that needs to be dealt with by looking at who God is and who you are, and thinking about, do you have a right to that person's time and attention? Is that a right thing for you to want from them? And then the third area is in comparison. So it's like looking at what other people have, whether it's their personality, their body shape, their home, their job, any number of things that you look on and think it's not fair. They've got all this adoration and admiration coming their way, and no one even notices me. And we're comparing and contrasting what we have, and God doesn't want that. So it's sort of funny, because although these three scenarios of jealousy are quite different, they are all going to be resolved in the same way, which is to understand that God made you to be completely unique, and there's things that God wants for you in your shape and your personality and your experiences that, you know, you aren't to be compared to anyone else. You are completely unique, and He's got a plan and purpose for you. So just to have a look at a few Bible verses on this. So from the Song of Solomon, it says, "Set me a seal upon your heart, a seal upon your arm, for love is strong as death. Jealousy is fierce as the grave. Its flashes are flashes of fire, the very flame of the Lord." And I think that is obviously a piece of poetry, but it evokes that understanding of how powerful an emotion jealousy can be if we don't take control of it. It says in the Bible to take every thought captive. And so if you're recognising these feelings of jealousy, recognise they are a powerful feeling, and they can massively affect your behaviour and your mental health. So it's something you want to get a hold of before it gets hold of you. In 1 Corinthians 13:4, where it's talking about what love is, it's love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. Love is not insecure is one of the lines in the Bethel song, You Do Not Give Your Heart in Pieces. It's like, your love's not jealous, it's not insecure. So we want love rooted in who God is, a knowledge of who we are, that allows us to love in a pure way. Our love's not insecure. We don't need that feedback from other people to feel loved and valued. We don't need to be needed by them all the time or wanted by them all the time. We can handle it if they're spending time with others. James 3:14-15. But if you have bitter jealousy and selfish ambition in your hearts, do not boast and be false to the truth. This is not wisdom that comes down from above, but is earthly, unspiritual, demonic. Whoa, that's some pretty heavy language there. The book of James isn't one to be taken lightly. He is quite harsh in lots of ways, but it's saying, let's get rid of this. We don't want to have bitter jealousy or selfish ambition in our hearts. We want to be able to celebrate others' successes. We want to be pleased for our friends if they've gone out and had a great time together, even if we weren't invited. Again, Philippians 2:3, do nothing from selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility count others more significant than ourselves. And Jesus is the perfect example of that. He held nothing back. He didn't look for the adoration of the crowds. He didn't demand that attention. It just came to him, and he gave all the glory back to God. This is something that we need to take hold of. We need to take control of before it can take over our lives and lead to negative consequences.